In case you think you're hallucinating, yes, I'm wearing long sleeve. Enjoy it. You're never seeing this again. Yeah, and the hat, but you're never seeing this again. Hello and welcome to a video where I'm just gonna leave the camera on and hopefully the audio doesn't cut out. Anyway, so I have just finished rewatching Rise of the Beasts, and now that it is, out on digital, I can talk about my favorite moments from the film and actually show footage and hopefully not get copyright struck. So let's make this quick, alright? I'm not going to spend 20 minutes on it. Starting off with number 5, the opening sequence. Now, I already was going to put this at number 5, however, watching it again, I actually noticed something that I didn't hear the first time, and that was when Airazor gives the transwarp key to Scourge, Scourge actually turns around to Primal, chuckling, and he says, wait, didn't I kill you already? And that is just such an awesome line, because I was like, wait a minute, does he just think that he killed Primal? But no, of course he killed Apelink, and Apelink was basically just a remodeled Optimus Primal. So yeah, that makes sense. I really love seeing the Maximal planet. It's also the one scene where I feel like the Maximals aren't wasted, mainly because they barely do anything, and they don't have to do much, really. But yeah, the only thing that would have made the scene better is if Apelink versus Scourge was actually a fight, because let's be honest here, Apelink landing one punch on Scourge and then dying, that is not a battle, that is just a slaughter, right? So yeah, I mean the fight lasted, I believe, 11 seconds, so yeah, there's that. Now moving on to number 4. This goes to the Peru chase sequence. Now, I love this scene for one reason, and that is that we actually get to see the Transformers utilize their alt modes. Of course, we get to see Battletrap use his hooks, and he shoots them forward and hooks onto Nightbird and then swings around so that he can obviously fire the missiles at Wheeljack. That was really clever. I loved that. But of course you have the fight that's happening at the same time, which is Scourge versus Optimus, and we get that awesome exchange when Scourge says, "I love your fire, Prime, but you're going to die here on the speck of dust." And then Optimus just gets up and he says, "I can think of no better place to bury you." Oh man, that is such a cool line. Optimus had some of the best lines in this movie, but that whole sequence, and especially how it ended, obviously with Airazor destroying the bridge and Scourge shooting her with his little gizmo thing, and then they just the Autobots escape. So that was a really cool sequence, and that is precisely why it is number 4. Now moving on to number 3. I actually enjoyed this sequence a lot more on rewatch, and that is the museum battle. Now, the way it starts, obviously, it starts off with Frieza and Novocaine or Novocaine, whatever, the other Frieza-looking thing, you know what I'm talking about. And it starts off like a little horror movie, which I really loved. And then, of course, we get to the outside, where Battletrap is, in my opinion, apart from Scourge and Optimus, Battletrap is the standout in this scene. He just fights dirty, really. He grabs things and then just throws it at the Autobots. Like when RC is about to get the transwarp key, Battletrap just grabs a car, flings it at her. Such a badass. And obviously the scene does end with the Terracons essentially winning and Bumblebee unfortunately getting killed. However, if they just didn't show the scene of Bumblebee jumping out of Stratosphere, if they didn't show it in the trailer, that scene would have been so much more emotional, because you watch this and you're like, he's coming back. He's coming back. We saw him jump out of Stratosphere. But yeah, that was that. Really awesome fight sequence, and of course we get to see Scourge mention Primus for the first time in live action. So there was that. Now, that was number 4. 3. That was number 3. Now move on to number 2, and I think this is a lot of people's number 1 actually, and that is the real power of a Prime. Of course, the scene where Bayverse Optimus steps in, and Optimus Prime just dismembers Scourge, cutting his one arm off, cutting the other one off, and then just sticking the sword right into his face and saying, "Time to show you the real power of a Prime," and he just rips his head off. That is so awesome, especially since Optimus did end up keeping his promise. Of course, he did say that he would take off Scourge's head, and he promised Scourge that he will end him. That is precisely what happened. And yeah, it is just such an awesome sequence. And also a little detail is that as soon as Optimus chops Scourge's one arm off, Scourge deploys his sword on the other arm. It's very quick, but he was about to attack Optimus. So that was also really awesome. And now it's number 1, which there was absolutely nothing else I could give this to, because yes, the Beasts, or at least Cheetor and Rhinox, were underutilized in this film. However, I am a Beast Wars fan, so it stands to reason as to why number 1 is Maximize. Optimus, that whole sequence of the Autobots and Maximals charging into battle, Optimus whipping his sword out, and then, oh my god, hearing Optimus Primal say, "Rhinox, Cheetor, Maximize!" And then Rhinox just does this, like, a roll, basically, and he's transformed. And then, of course, Cheetor jumps off the rock and does a flip, and he transforms. And then this is all in one take, so it goes from Rhinox to Cheetor to Primal, and then obviously the battle mask closes around him, his little ear fins pop up, and then he just jumps in the air, and he does that spin that he does in Beast Wars. Oh my god, what a cool sequence. And you know, that just makes the whole thing worth it. The Maximals not transforming at all in the film really does make that moment just so much more badass, when, you know, just hearing Optimus Primal say "Maximize" in live action, it's a dream. It's a dream come true. Because if I'm being honest, that was at the top of my list for Rise of the Beasts, is to hear one of the Maximals say "Maximize," and they couldn't have used it better. They couldn't have used it better. It was perfect.
Rhinox! Cheetor! Maximize!
That was my, oh my god. Those are my top 5 favorite moments from Transformers Rise of the Beasts. And yeah, I love this movie. I really, really do. I've now changed my rating from a 9 out of 10 to a 9.5. It is phenomenal, and really the only thing that that 0.5 is just that the Maximals were heavily underutilized. And of course I hate the ending, but the Maximals mainly, Cheetor and Rhinox, they just didn't really do anything. Rhinox only said one line, Cheetor was just there, you know. But yeah, I loved this movie. All the Autobots were great, except Wheeljack. I cannot wait to see where this franchise goes from here. Fingers crossed, please, a Beast Wars movie. Please, please, please. I want to see Rat Trap and Dinobot. Please, in the next movie, can we have Predacons as well? But anyway, that was that. I hope you did enjoy this video. I hope you enjoyed seeing me in long sleeve with a hat. And yeah, if you did enjoy this video, leave a like, subscribe, and goodbye. Say my name.
Heisenberg.
You're goddamn right.